The Watchers is one of those movies that I struggle to talk about without getting into spoilers. Let's do a spoiler-free review of The Watchers. So, The Watchers is directed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, who it's her debut film, but she's directed before with the show The Servant, which I love. Servant. It's a very good show. Check it out. Very creepy, very eerie. But we're not here to talk about Servant. We're here to talk about The Watchers. Well, The Watchers is a very unique and at times clever thriller about a group of people trapped in a section of the woods in Ireland, and they basically are in a box. It is literally a singular room, and they can venture out of the room during the day, but once night hits, what they call the Watchers comes out, and they have to return to the room, and literally what it says, the Watchers watch how they react in the room, and they have to figure out who the Watchers are, what they are, how to escape. And that's all I'm going to say for now. But I really like this in certain aspects, and I didn't care for it in other aspects. But let's talk about the good. The good. All of the performances are pretty good. All the cast does what they have to do, and it's all shown fairly well. And it's visually very pleasant to watch. Like, the scenery is very nice. How they film inside of the room is very clever with the use of a giant mirror where the Watchers watch them. It's very cool stuff. The imagery with the mirror is very nice. There is hints of the twist very early in the movie. I caught on to it, but that's just me. A lot of people probably won't, and I like the twist. For the most part. Some of it doesn't necessarily line up and make a lot of sense, but at some point you gotta just shut your brain off and enjoy something. But at the same time, you can't shut your brain off because you're kind of like, well, that doesn't really work that way, you know? Like, one thing I didn't like is that the people have these set of rules. Like, don't go out past sundown. Don't turn your back to the Watchers. They break the rules and kind of like nothing happens. Like, the first time you experience the night with the Watchers, they openly say, never turn your back to the mirror, never turn your back to the Watchers. I'm like, oh, something's going to be used with that. And then it never does. We see the characters turn their backs to the Watchers multiple times, and nothing happens. And then there's another scene early on where one of the characters is shown to be proficient in herbs and healing with nature. I'm like, oh, that's going to come into play at some point, because they show it like 2 or 3 times, and then it never does. So it's like a lot of wasted opportunities hinder this movie more than anything. And I think the final 10 minutes is very goofy, and it doesn't really gel well with the rest of the movie's tone and themes and all that stuff. The last 10 minutes is very off-putting, and it kind of turned me off from the movie. But I like this. I didn't love it. I think there's a lot of missed opportunities, and I know it's based off a novel. I don't know what that novel is about. I know nothing about that novel, so I have no comparison. But The Watchers, it is worth a watch. No pun intended. It is an enjoyable time. It just needed more oomph. It just needed more time in the oven to make all the little details that they put into it actually matter. Because a lot of the little details don't matter in the end, and that's disappointing. But that's just my thoughts. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Keep being good people.